It's the Daily Beat on KBEY 103.9. Ben Shields hanging out with DailyTrib.com news editor Dakota Morrissiey. Dakota, how you doing?
Doing great, Ben. It's a busy week.
Did you enjoy that rain yesterday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I woke up in Llano and had, a couple inches out there.
All right, we'll talk about more here in just a little bit about the rain and hopefully more coming up this weekend. But first, let's talk about a possible interchange that might happen at 71 and 281. A meeting is set and they're taking comments from the public on this possible interchange. So give us more insight on this possible interchange just south of Marble Falls on 281.
Yeah, this is really important for anybody who kind of lives even in the Highland Lakes area. TxDOT is moving forward with this major project. I believe it's $243 million. It's a big deal to do a complete overhaul to the US 281 71 interchange. So right now it's what's called a cloverleaf pattern. You loop on there whichever direction you're going. And what they're talking about doing is creating it into a turbine style interchange where there will be lifted on and off ramps, there will be frontage roads, and it'll be a huge expansion to the footprint of the interchange. And they're doing that to try to satisfy future needs at that intersection. Basically, TxDOT is predicting that someday that intersection is going to be heavy traffic, and so they're trying to get ahead of the game on that.
So you got the hospital, you've got two big neighborhoods already that are going up, and then you've got the possible shopping center and even more neighborhoods. So we're going to see traffic just keep on ballooning out there over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes, and there's going to be an in-person meeting you can attend on April 9th at Marble Falls High School. You can go to DailyTrib and get the details on that. You can also attend the meeting virtually, but you'll have to keep up with TxDOT on that. And you have until April 24th to file a comment. So I suggest either reading our article, doing your own research, and kind of figuring out where, how you want to inform TxDOT, because they do use what you say in their decision making. So part of this is going to be like including pedestrian paths and cyclist paths, and it's all just kind of the expectation that that intersection will someday be somewhat residential, but also have to service heavy traffic going up and down 281 and 71.
All right, so read more about it at dailytrib.com, this possible interchange at 281 and 71. So there were several deaths in the Highland Lakes of individuals who have made an impact on the Highland Lakes residents in the community over the past 25 years. First off, I just found out that the former Marble Falls city manager who just retired late last year, Mike Hodge, unexpectedly passed away.
I don't mean to trivialize anything by bringing together 3 deaths, but we just in the newsroom it was kind of shocking to have 3 big figures in our area pass away in such a short time, totally unrelated. Like you said, we learned that Mike Hodge passed away. If you're not familiar with Mike, he's hugely responsible for a lot of the improvements in Marble Falls and bringing it, up to like a high quality level. Whatever you may think of the city of Marble Falls, it's run quite well. He's helping bring it into the future, developing state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. He served the city for almost 12 years, and he did a lot. A lot of the things, the park improvements, and the people who worked in the city, are probably, incredibly impacted by this. He was really tight with everyone. We were shocked to see that. I knew him, worked alongside him as well as a reporter.
All right, so prayers for his family. And Ray Kiesler, who is a pastor of Abundant Church in Granite Shoals, he passed away last Friday. Of course, he was also a Santa for many years in downtown Marble Falls, and he was also a business owner at one time as well, and they're having a service for him today.
Yes, so Ray passed away in a motorcycle crash in Marble Falls. He was a huge member of the community through Abundant Heart, and like you said, through being Santa in Marble Falls. But his family reached out to us and said, hey, we would like to invite the community to his memorial service, and that's today, like you said. If you check out our story, you can get the details on that.
Life Church, Marble Falls.
Life Family Church in Marble Falls. And our third person, who personally, Art Art Duglach.
Yeah, Art DeLugage. He spent nearly 30 years here in the Highland Lakes, and he started here in KBEY in 1998. He was in San Francisco for many years as a sports producer, and he wanted to get away and just wanted to do some play-by-play. He always dreamed of being a play-by-play guy for a high school. And so he got the job with KBEY, and KBEY carried Llano games. And lo and behold, for 28 years, it was quite the passion that Art had was for Llano sports. And you could just reading comments over the past week from the Llano community, just how much they adored him and they loved him. And he was a part of that community. He was a fabric of the community. And here at KBEY, he spent about 8-9 years doing sports for Llano, but also besides the sports, he was a really good newsman as well. I mean, he was a hard worker. He would go to meetings. He was doing this by himself. He was going to all the city meetings, county meetings, and I don't think he ever slept, but definitely 82 years old, and thoughts go out to his family and to the Llano community. He was definitely, you'll never find another Art DeLugage. He is one of a kind.
And it seems like he left his mark, in Llano, and that people really appreciated the kind of work he did. He had this Emmy Award-winning sports journalist who decided he wanted to, call games and do his own thing. So.
And he had such a unique voice, because you hear that voice and you knew instantly who you were listening to. There was no denying that it was Art, and he just had a sense of humor. He had lines that you would know that he, were Art DeLugage lines that he would use for almost 28 years. But such a local legend, and I know he'll be missed by the Llano community and had a big impact on me. But they've got a service for him, a memorial service, going to be April 11th at the Llano High School Auditorium. Mm-hmm. All right, so you can read all about the impactful figures that passed away over the past week at DailyTrib.com. All right, Dakota, so we had the rain yesterday. Going to get some more hopefully on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that rain will be gone by Easter. But with that, we had a fire earlier in the week to where the burn bans are now lifted in both Burnett and Llano counties, although the one in Llano is temporary, correct?
Yes. Pretty wild week to have a 35-acre fire out in Burnett County, and everybody kind of, I don't want to say freaking out, but kind of this high fire danger. We're getting red flag warnings. Both counties are sticking to their guns on the burn bans. That fire was actually caused by, from what we understand, tannerite. Somebody just
celebrating?
Yeah, celebrating, wow. Blowing up some tannerite.
Don't do that.
Don't do that during a burn ban. But then, just, Texas, if you don't like the weather, a couple days later, we're now lifting the burn bans. We have, half an inch to 2 inches of rain across Burnett and Llano counties in one day. So I know that's a nice reprieve, because those bans have been on for quite a while. Burnett counties for sure had been on since early February. So this is kind of your chance, to get rid of those brush piles and cardboard boxes or whatever you got.
All right, and hopefully more rain coming up on Saturday. They're saying it could be even more than what we received on Thursday morning. Mm-hmm. All right, so read more about the fire to a burn ban, or to the lifting of the burn ban at DailyTrib.com. All right, and one final note, we've got to talk football or soccer. The Marble Falls Mustangs boys soccer team, they keep on rolling, making history. State semifinals, they defeated a foe, San Antonio Davenport, 2-1 in Kerrville. Now they face a very tough Waco La Vega tonight in Waco.
I think it's hard to not be, even if you're not a soccer fan, it's hard to not be one right now, especially in Marble Falls. The team is winning, and they're kind of on this historic run. They've broken the record. They'd never gone beyond the regional round of the playoffs, and they're now in the state semifinals. It's really exciting. They're going against their toughest opponent yet in La Vega, but just making it this far is so cool. They're playing against them tonight in Waco, so check out the details at Daily Trib. Get up there if you can make it. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but this is a really big deal for the Mustangs, and it's been cool to follow their saga so far and see how well they're doing.
It really is. So if you can get up there to Waco and check out the Mustang soccer team, the boys team, and the state semifinals, and that's really exciting. And you can read the coverage on the soccer team at DailyTrib.com. And Dakota, you and the Daily Trib team, keep it up, doing great work as always.
Yeah, I want to shout out Jet Markham. I saw
Okay.
a highlight from that game where he made game-winning saves. He's the goalie. I met his mom on the bridge as they were doing like the send-off, and I thought it was a little fortuitous. I said hi to her, and she had like a big sign. And then I saw this highlight of Jet Markham just saving right. You know, it was a close game. It was 2-1, and he saved 2 goals back-to-back in this like really kind of critical time. So I just thought that was cool.
That's awesome. Well, keep up the good work, Mustangs, and read more about it at dailytrib.com. All right, Dakota, we'll do it again next Friday.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Y'all stay safe. It's KBEY 103.9.